What's up, y'all? Um, Yet again, I want to talk about one more anime for the day. Um, I want to talk about one more anime that I really enjoyed watching. It was kind of on the same level as Dragon Ball Z, but like I said, no fights can compare to Dragon Ball except for this anime. But Dragon Ball Z's fights, that's on a whole nother level, like a whole totally different level. Yu Yu Hakusho was came close. There it is, the anime I was gonna talk about. Yu Yu Hakusho. Um, this anime, Yu Yu Hakusho, has one of the best fights next to Dragon Ball Z. Basically, now let me get into the story of Yu Yu Hakusho first. So basically, Yu Yu Hakusho is a story about a boy named Yusuke Urameshi, and he's basically in the first episode, he actually dies trying to save a boy from getting hit by a car, which is kind of silly. He actually died trying to save a boy getting hit by a car, so he became a ghost. And Botan, there's this character named Botan. She's like a Grim Reaper. I think she made a deal with Yusuke that I forgot what happened. Like he met this girl named Botan, and somehow he became like a spirit detective. He became a spirit detective, and I think he made a deal with this emperor named um Koenma. Koenma was like this baby, like it was actually a infant that could talk, but like he had the ability to turn into an adult too. Like he didn't always stay as a baby. Like he was always like this baby with a pacifier, talking with a pacifier in his mouth, and he had like these servants that were like ogres, and yeah, so yeah, Koenma was like I think he made a deal with Yusuke. I think the deal was if he kissed I think because Yusuke had like a he had a love interest which was what was her name? Keiko. Her name was Keiko, and I think Koenma, the deal was if if Yusuke kissed um what's her name? Keiko, then he would get his body back or something like that. I can't remember what the deal was. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. But anybody that watched Yu Yu Hakusho, correct me if I'm wrong. Just leave a comment and let me know, what really happened, because I can't remember, because it's been so long since I watched Yu Yu Hakusho. But anyway, yeah, it's a show about this boy named Yusuke. He's actually like a bully in high. He was like a bully in high school, and he had like a friend. He had like a rival. His name was Kuwabara, and Kuwabara was actually like later on in the anime. He's really awesome. Like he's very awesome. So anyway, you have like a lot of characters in the anime. You have Yusuke, Kuwabara, the two demons. What was their names? Hiei and Karama. Um, and also Genkai. Genkai was like this old lady that trained Yusuke to learn how to use the spirit gun, because Yusuke has the ability called the spirit gun where he can shoot energy out of his index finger like a gun. It is really awesome. Like it's a really good show. Like for those who have never seen you, because it used to come on Toonami. Yu Yu Hakusho, Yu Yu Hakusho used to come on a long time ago on Toonami, and I used to watch it back then. But anyway, um, I remember the best arc in Yu Yu Hakusho. So basically, Yu Yu Hakusho is about Yusuke, fighting off these demons and stuff, and he teams up with Kuwabara, Hiei, and Karama. They all become partners and everything, and they go off on adventures and fight a whole bunch of demons and stuff. And I remember to be like my favorite arc was all right. Let me get into my favorite arcs. My favorite arc was when at the very beginning when Yusuke, and thinking season one, when Yusuke entered the Genkai's tournament, because the tournament was supposed to determine um who would be Genkai's master. Yeah, that's what it was. But Genkai, I mean, what's his name? Yusuke only entered that tournament because he had a mission by Koenma to to find out, because he had to find this demon named Rando, and Rando was being disguised as a human. So the humans, there was like a whole bunch of people that entered the tournament, but Yusuke had to figure out which human was the demon Rando in disguise. So the tournament, Genkai had them doing like a lot of weird things. Like they had to, I remember that the part when they had to go in like this demonic forest, and they had to like find their way out the forest before time ran out. You know, and the first one, actually, yeah, it was like a race against time basically. And it was a life or death situation. Really, the whole all of the challenges were life and death situations pretty much. And then I remember there was another thing that they had to do where they had to test their spiritual energy, because the anime relies on like spiritual energy. So I remember the part where Genkai had all the characters testing their spiritual energy abilities, where they had to like do like basically they just had to test their spiritual energy. I can't really I can't really explain specifically what they had to do because I can't remember, but they had to like test out their spiritual energy in different ways. And then I remember the best part in the whole Genkai tournament was when they had to fight, when they had to fight each other. When Genkai had characters fighting against each other. Like Yusuke had to fight who did Yusuke have to fight? I forgot who Yusuke had to fight, but I remember there was the episode in Kuwabara when he unleashed his spirit sword against that guy with the sword, with the regular sword. Like that was awesome. Like Kuwabara, he was really a badass, and I found out that the same voice that does Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z does Kuwabara's voice in the English dub. Um, I really like Kuwabara. He's one of my favorite characters, and Yusuke, of course, he's the main character. Um, But yeah, man, I really love that the Genkai arc. When I remember when they had to fight like in this dark room, like it wasn't no light in that room. Like they had to fight in the darkness, cause Genkai wanted the people, the contestants, to see if they could rely on spiritual energy rather than seeing with that. Well, I guess I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but they had to fight like in this dark room. She was like testing their basically she was testing their capabilities, just trying to see which contestant was the strongest. And of course Yusuke was the strongest out of everybody else. Kuwabara was like the second strongest. And I remember like when they had to fight outside, Yusuke had to fight Rando. Rando was like the demon was actually that little boy with the bald head. He became Rando. Because at first Yusuke was beating the shit out of him. But the little boy actually turned into Rando, and that's when Yusuke had to fight Rando. And the same person that did the voice for Rando did the voice of Trunks in Dragon Ball Z in the English dub also. It was a lot of voice actors from Dragon Ball Z did play voices for Yu Yu Hakusho as well. But also the best arc in Yu Yu Hakusho was the Dark Tournament. I love the Dark Tournament. The Dark Tournament was one of the best. It reminded me of the World Martial Arts Tournament from Dragon Ball, from not Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball. There was a part in Dragon Ball Z where they was in the World Martial Arts Tournament, and I remember Goten and Trunks had to fight. That was awesome. But anyway, um, getting off topic. But mm. Anyway, so yeah, man, the Dark Tournament. I love the Dark Tournament. Um, the fights was just, man. I remember Hiei had to fight this guy. I forget his name. He had to fight one of these demons, and he did this attack called Dragon. I think it was called Dragon of the Darkness Flame. I think yeah, it was called Dragon of the Darkness Flame or something like that. It was so badass. And when he unleashed that attack, it made the character he just disappeared. Like he made the character was just totally erased. Like he that was like his most powerful attack, and he just disappeared off the stage. And you know it was just so awesome, man. Yu Yu Hakusho, the Dark Tournament, man. I swear I love the Dark Tournament. I love the Dark Tournament. The Dark Tournament was basically like this tournament where they was actually competitors fighting against each other in a tournament, basically. You know, it was just like the World Martial Arts Tournament in Dragon Ball. It was just like that, but better. Um, it was a lot of good fights, man. And the final fight was Tagoro versus Yusuke. Tagoro was like this big, massive guy with like these big ass muscles. Like his muscles were so huge, they were just enormous. And Yusuke, man, Yusuke, he had to fight a tough battle because Tagoro was no joke, man. Tagoro was a bad motherfucker. And I remember my girl Genkai, because Genkai is actually an old lady, but I remember she had to fight this guy. I forget what his name was. She had to fight this guy in the tournament, and because she has the ability to make herself look young again. And when she made herself look young, she did an attack called Spirit Reflection Blast. It was awesome. Like she shot out this energy blast from her finger, and she used that energy she used the energy that she had when she was old. She used basically she turned into her young form just so she could use that ability, because when she was in her old form she couldn't use it, but in her young form she could use that ability. And she did Spirit Reflection Blast, and it was, oh man, it was badass, man. I love those fights in Yu Yu Hakusho are just serious, man. Them fights are very, very serious. And then I remember um the Chapter Black arc. I think it was called Chapter Black, when what was the guy name? Sensui. Sensui, he was like this badass villain after I think Toguro, because Toguro was like the second villain, and I think the final villain was Sensui. And I remember Yusuke, because Yusuke has like a demon father, and when his father, like he has like this power. Yusuke had like this power where he could turn into like he had like he inherited his demon father's powers. So when Yusuke fought Sensui, he started having his father's powers, and he started beating the shit out of Sensui, and it was so fucking badass, man. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention Yusuke's mom. She's actually an alcoholic. Like she was always drinking all the time. His mother was very, very um she just wasn't a fit mother. She was a misfit mother. And yeah, man. Yu Yu Hakusho was the shit. Yu Yu Hakusho was the shit. And I remember, I think it was a second tournament after the world tournament. I mean, not the world tournament, the dark tournament. I forgot what it was called, the tournament after the dark tournament, but it was hard, man. It was hard. Yu Yu Hakusho is like one of my favorite animes of all time. Right there with Dragon Ball Z and them. I love Yu Yu Hakusho, but yeah, y'all, just wanted to give y'all my thoughts about Yu Yu Hakusho. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.